A lot of times as young marketers, we just think of it in terms of a social media post that we have to have these many people in a photo and we're going to put it out there and our job for ED&I is done. We have to think beyond it. Hi, I'm Maheen Ahmed and I'm the NXT Voice. So the most important thing that a young marketer should know about ED&I is basically knowing what it represents and what it means to them personally. And it is as much about numbers as it is about being able to speak about it. A lot of times, a lot of marketers do not get people on board or do not get first-hand perspective and just listen to what they're being shown on TV or what they're being talked about on social media, and they just kind of go with it. They don't completely first-hand experience what it means to be what it means to be around people who are minorities or people who have that kind of opinion. So having those people come sit at the table with you while you talk about the campaigns, while you make plans for marketing is super important, and that ultimately also impacts the numbers, which a lot of C-suites want to know about it. You have to make sure that you're able to speak the term, you're able to speak the language when you talk to C-suites, and you tell them the importance of ED&I in marketing or in finance or in general in life as well. It is important to me because I am a minority. I am a Pakistani who migrated to Canada in 2020, right in the middle of COVID. And already a lot of people were struggling, companies were struggling, and I was working twice as hard to just get a job. I didn't know how things worked in Canada. I didn't know that you had to network with the right people. Who were the right people? I didn't have that kind of mentorship. And ultimately, I learned that. And I wish at that point I had that kind of mentorship. I had that kind of representation in marketing, so I would have been able to better present myself to companies, to individuals, and to be able to get that first job that I needed at that point. So that is why it's so close to my heart. And ever since I joined CBB Institute, we have an ED&I working group that our CEO initiated, and I'm so grateful to her for that because that gave me a chance to voice what I went through. So a lot of times as young marketers and who are very passionate about ED&I, we're very passionate about supporting minorities. We just think of it as in terms of a social media post that we have to have these many people in a photo and we're going to put it out there and our job for ED&I is done. There are a lot of diverse communities that are present on that platform, and especially Gen Z, just because of the way they've grown up, just because of the kind of exposure they've had, they can call out a performative campaign in a second. So if you're just doing this to get in the good books of a certain group of people, they can tell it and they can call you out right there and then. And that is why it is so important to think beyond it and starts from the hiring process. To be able to have those diverse perspectives on the table, a lot of times we don't know the cultural practices, and sometimes we may say something that is offensive to the other person, and that can be avoided if we have those people at the same table when we're making executive decisions. For me, it is super important to understand, to know, to have that kind of conversation with people. And that doesn't just come from reading, it comes from meeting people. It comes from actually knowing them, not because you have an agenda or you want to use it later on in your marketing material, but like genuinely knowing people and their story, their culture, trying to understand it, trying to just kind of accepting other people, and then being a marketer and implementing all of that in your marketing practices.